Welcome to Sports Talk with the Cowboy.
Welcome and thanks for riding with the Cowboy. A lot of news tonight. Preseason starts this week. Tennessee Titans Saturday night, Raymond James Stadium. Get out there and support the Buccaneers. It's the first preseason game. Tomorrow we'll be taking on the Tennessee Titans at a practice out there. Full team's practice. We'll be practicing with them. It's going to be a good game. We're going to see a lot of rookies we haven't seen. We're going to see some veterans we've seen before. They'll get our first time out on the field playing. And it's the first week of preseason, the first full week, with all the teams participating. The Hall of Fame Bowl, as you know, was last week. But all the teams will be participating starting Thursday. That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 4 days worth of football starting tomorrow night. We'll play Saturday night against the Tennessee Titans, 7:30, Raymond James Stadium. As far as news, a lot of news out there, of course. The Buccaneers in training camp. We signed Teddy Bridgewater to be our third-string quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater, who last played for the Lions last year. He played for many teams, about 7 other teams. Is coming in as our third-string quarterback. Was signed today to be a quarterback for our team. He's been out there in practice all day today. Sure, he'll be taking part tomorrow. We're going to see a lot of the backup quarterbacks. Kyle Trask, our number 2 backup, and Teddy Bridgewater, our new third-string backup, and maybe some of these college kids even. I doubt the college kids will be there the first game, but Teddy Bridgewater and Kyle Trask certainly will. I don't expect to see much of Baker Mayfield, if any, because he's just has hand contusion, as we said in the last show when he hit on top of a helmet in practice about a week and a half ago. But he's fine. He's been out on the sideline throwing passes, but he's not out in the contact area right now. So being that it's the first preseason game and it's absolutely meaningless, we don't want any of our major players to be injured, but we want them to be ready to play football also. But a lot of things happening this week in professional football. It'll be on the NFL Network, CBS, Fox, NBC. Everybody's got a game. They're going to be all over the television starting Thursday night. There's 3 Thursday. I don't know how many Friday, Saturday, and there's 3 on Sunday even, which is very abnormal that they have a preseason game on Sunday, but they've already got them on there. Matter of fact, the Miami Dolphins are in the one that is being played on Sunday of this week. So we'll keep you posted on what goes on. The Teddy Bridgewater joining the Bucs is only one thing that's going on out there. We got the Tristan Wirfs injury. He's still out there. He's not going to participate, like we said before, till well after the training camp, if he even is participating in the first game of the season. Chris Godwin, about the same. There's been no marketable injuries over the last week since the last show that we had with you. So as far as the major injuries are concerned, there aren't any new ones. And we're going to get out there with our players on Thursday, tomorrow, with a full scrimmage against the Titans, and then play them Saturday night. We'll keep you posted on the score. As far as any other major injuries in the NFL, there have been a few tackles and guards that's been injured slightly on other teams. I'm not going to get into a major discussion tonight on how many teams have had players that's been nicked or hurt, but as you can understand with pads, there's going to be some of them. But no major players that are out indefinitely from any of these injuries in the last week since the last show. We'll keep you posted on the Buccaneers and what happened against the Titans Saturday night. Tune them in, see what's going on. We'll keep you posted if anything, and we'll be back with the Bucs next week on next week's show. We're going to move on to the Tampa Bay Rays out in Anaheim, California against the California Angels. Won the game last night 7-2. A good game. Got 7 runs in the 4th inning. They've been on a slide. We all know about the slide they've been on since the middle of June. They've slid right on down into the pike. But they're trying to get a comeback and get a couple wins together out on this 12-game, 14-day West Coast road trip. All away games. This is the 2nd game last night, and they won that game against the Angels. They will play the 3rd and last game of the Angels tonight. Then they will travel to Seattle and play the Mariners up in Seattle. Then they will travel back down and play the San Francisco Giants. And their final stop will be against the San Diego Padres before they return home to Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. But let's get a lot of the 12 if we can. This will be game 3 tonight in Anaheim. And we hope that we can pull a win out like we did last night with a 7-run 4th inning, which is what we need to get ahead and win these games. We have the pitching sometimes and not the hitting, and then sometimes we have the hitting and not the pitching. So we got to get them together, and we've got to make a run at it in this big, long 12-game road trip. We've got to win more than we lose. If we come out of there 8 or 9 out of 12, it would be great. I would love for that to happen. Sure, they probably settle for 50-50. We got to get out and start playing again tonight and get this victory tonight for the Rays. We're in the home stretch. As far as the Lightning, no news on the Tampa Bay Lightning, as they are not in season, and they won't be until sometime in September when their training camp starts, so they're out of the picture. As far as NASCAR is concerned, it was a great race this week in Iowa. William Byron won the race. It was a great race. Our driver, Michael McDowell, came in 17th place in the Spires, number 71 motorsports car. Not a real good race for him, but it was a 17th. It was a top 20 finish anyhow. We got a race this week. We got a golf match this week. Wyndham Championship last week. Now they're going to go to play the St. Jude this weekend in Memphis, Tennessee for the St. Jude Children's Hospital. Be a great match. The top 70 will be there because we're getting into the playoffs now of PGA golf. So the top 70 are at the St. Jude Classic. The 70 below is not at the St. Jude Classic. They have to be the top 70 golfers now. They're in the playoffs of professional golf. The PGA's playoffs start this week. If you're 71, you're at home. We'll keep you posted on what happens at the first playoff game of the PGA at the St. Jude Classic. We're going to the questions. We've got a lot tonight. Cowboy, this is Ann, and Ann's from Wauchula. Ann wanted to know what I thought about Teddy Bridgewater joining the Tampa Bay Buccaneers today. And Ann, I think it's a good move. We needed a veteran quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater's 32 wins, 31 losses as a starter. He started 63 games as a starter and played the whole game. So he knows how to quarterback. We needed a veteran. Nothing against Kyle Trask, but he's never sat on the field and had a first game yet. A full game as a starting quarterback in the NFL all these years later. He's in his 5th year and has never started a game. And so what I'm saying is you've got to have an insurance policy, and that's what Teddy Bridgewater is. He's a good pickup, man. God bless you for your question. You'll see he's a good pickup. He's a good pickup to have because if something was to happen to Baker for a game or two and Kyle came in there and Kyle was having difficulties, what you going to do then? You're going to say, let's go get a veteran quarterback, and there's going to be slim pickings. They know Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater knows them. He's a good fit. He's a good leader. He led a 3A football team last year to a state championship as a coach. And after the season, went up to Detroit and became the backup to the Detroit Lion quarterback. That's how good he is. He's down here in Tampa. Smart, good, veteran. Good pickup, Ann. God bless you for your question. And the next question is from Nick. Nick wanted to know what I thought about the chances of the Rays making the playoffs. Nick, it's not good unless they roll about 8 or 9 games out of this 12 and start catching fire. They got to hit and they got to pitch together. As you know, Nick, in the free agency, the trade deadline, they got a reliever and they got a starter, and they've got to come in there and pitch good and keep us in the games, and we've got to get in the game and start scoring some points. We got to have better than 5 points. When we're better than 5 points, we're like 75% win. But if we don't score 5 points, we don't win. So we got to get out there and score. And so this is the proof is in the pudding in this 12-game stretch. And we're 1-1 right now going to Game 3. Watch this Game 3 tonight, Nick. It's going to tell you a lot about it. Then we're going to get on a plane and go to Seattle, and then back to Frisco against the Giants, and then back down to San Diego against the Padres. We'll see how it all works out, and we'll keep you posted. God bless you for your question. The last question tonight is Tammy from Frost Roof. Tammy wanted to know what I thought about Texas and Ohio State being ranked number 1 and 2 in the college playoff or the pre-college football season poll. I think, Tammy, that's a good place for it to be because Texas plays Ohio State the first night of college in August, first week of the games. Their first game, Texas and Ohio State's against each other. Somebody's got to lose. And if somebody loses, they're going to drop out of that top 5 position. Personally, I don't know who will lose, but somebody's going to lose. They got Penn State in there. They got Penn State is one of them in there. They got Notre Dame and one in there in Oregon. And I don't know who these other 3 teams play. But if they're playing as good a caliber team as Texas and Ohio that first game, again, they could lose too. These polls mean nothing. At the end of the season, it's how many wins and losses they have. They got the Gators down at 17, but if Lagway plays good, they're a lot better than 17. We'll see how it goes, and that's how it goes. Everybody's got 0-0 at the first of the year, and they just prognosticate, oh, that guy's going to win. We'll see what it goes when they go in playing each other head-to-head. Somebody will lose, and that one will be bumped. But we'll see as the season goes on. We'll keep you posted. I think it's as good as any could be. I don't have no problem with the teams they put up there. They're all good teams. They could have been any 5 teams. It doesn't matter. It's before the season starts, poll. But we'll keep you posted on how the poll really goes and how the games go. And God bless you for your question. And I'd like to thank you all for your support. I want you to keep sending your comments in here. We got a lot of football action going on, high school, college, and pro, starting now. And we need your questions. We'll put them on air. We're going to try to extend that segment. We're going to do a little extra for college football this year when the season gets a little bit closer, and it's getting pretty close as we speak. And we're going to try to get as many of your questions on it, more than the 3 that we took tonight. Try to expand that question base a little bit more. But we're going to go. I want to tell you all about Sports Talk with the Cowboy. You pick a pool. It'll be out the first game of regular season. Like I said, as the season gets closer, I'll let you know where you can pick up those forms. But you can always send in the comments, the winners for that week, right here to the show, and we will count them just as good as if you had a piece of paper and give them to us in person. So give a hands up to somebody that needs one. There's plenty of hate in this world. Extend the hand, show a little love. We need it all in this world today. Pray for us all. Until next show, God bless you and Cowboy out.
Have you ever had a dream that you had you want